Hey guys, what's going on? This is Andrew here today, and we're going to be discussing the Xbox Series and PS5 and why I believe the consoles launched too soon. Starting off, it's quite obvious that both consoles don't have any must-have games. Although the PS5 launched with Miles Morales and Demon's Souls, Miles Morales was also on PS4, and Demon's Souls was simply a remake. The next big game that is coming to PS5 really isn't coming until June, and that is Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, which, by the way, I am extremely excited for. As for the Xbox, it launched with 0 exclusives since Halo Infinite had to be delayed. Although Microsoft has recently purchased Bethesda, there's really nothing confirmed on what will be Series and PC exclusive at this very moment. So, next, we have to talk about the features of the console. When the PS5 launched, it was buggy, and to an extent, it still kind of is. On top of that, there is an expansion port for an M.2 SSD that is disabled, and we won't be seeing it usable until we see a firmware update at some point. The amount of storage in the PS5, 825GB to be exact, is simply not enough, and right away users are starting to notice that it is filling up right away, including me. There's no option to store the PS5s on an external HDD like there is on Microsoft's console, and it causes you to have to constantly delete games if you want to play another. Similar things can be said about the Xbox Series, although I believe this one feature-wise seemed to be a little more pleasing at launch. You were able to move your games onto an external HDD, the option for expandable storage is now available, you can use Quick Resume, and Game Pass is filled with tons of must-have games. However, that doesn't mean that it is off the hook. There simply isn't enough storage upgrade options out there, the UI feels like last gen, and like I said before, you're still playing it like it's a last gen console, which kind of brings me to my next point that proves true to both systems. These may be next-gen consoles, but they definitely don't feel that way. To me, this feels more like I just got rid of my GTX 970 and i7-4770K and just went for a Ryzen CPU and an RTX card. I'm able to play the same games, just with the graphics turned up higher than they were on my last PC. Yes, there are newer games coming out, and I have been enjoying Outriders for the past few days on the Xbox Series X, but I have been leaving the consoles alone for much more time than I did when I first got my Xbox One and PS4. I feel like that all I have been doing is playing through my Xbox One and PS4 back catalog lately, and where it's cool that I can play it at better quality than I could on the last consoles, it just doesn't feel like next gen yet. I know we're only less than half a year into the generation, but I still feel pretty underwhelmed. In the end, I feel like these consoles could have launched at the end of this year for this reason. There is just not enough stock. Ever since the pre-orders, these consoles have been next to impossible to get your hands on, and although I don't think that's Sony and Microsoft's fault directly, I definitely have to point my finger at the retailers that didn't put enough preparation into fixing up the security of their websites and avoiding these crazy scalpers. Out of every single person that I know except for my friend Zach, who actually helped me secure the consoles in the first place, I'm the only one who was able to get my hands on both consoles. This is a problem that seriously needs to be fixed, and the extra year definitely could have given both sides time to ensure that anyone who wanted a console can get their hands on one. So, with that being said, thank you for listening to my take on the state of the current generation. In a future video, I will talk about which console I have been using more of recently, so keep an eye out for that. Thank you all once again. I will see you all in the next video.